Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Brothers Win podcast. My name is Ian, joined always by my brother and co-host Matthew. How you doing today, Matthew?
I'm doing great, Ian. How are you doing today?
I am feeling pretty good, actually. Just a normal day, actually. Anything of interest happening in your life, or no? You kind of just coasting?
Semester's coming to a close, so I'm focusing on that. Had a couple lucky breaks, a couple of things go my way towards the end of the semester, so it's feeling good right now.
Nice. That's good. Well, because our lives are just kind of mellow right now, there's not really anything huge to talk about in terms of our opener, so I kind of wanted to go and talk about some content recommendations for each other and for the listeners. It's always good to, hear opinions on people's thing. You told me that you have a friend that says if anybody recommends something 3 times, you should definitely give it a look, know? So, this is kind of just, if you're on 2 and you're sitting there and you're like, I don't know, and we're one of your thirds, good. We'll take it. Yeah. So I'd like you to start, Matthew, if you don't mind. So some just form of media, a book, a movie, a TV show, anything that you're reading or watching or, listening to lately that you want to recommend.
Yeah, I got two movies, actually. Two movie recommendations. Mm-hmm. The first one is a recent addition to HBO Max, Tenet. I haven't finished it because it was very long and I decided to watch it very late at night. Bad decision because I was so confused I just wanted to go to bed. So I did. But it was very good up until that point. Even though I fell asleep, I was just so exhausted. There was some very cool, action, it's just very unique. Because I think you've seen the trailers probably, right?
Yeah. It looks cool. Yeah, my biggest thing I've heard about it is just that it's so confusing. And, Christopher Nolan
so confusing. Yeah.
Loves making his movies confusing. So
yeah. I'm going to probably rewatch it a couple of times just because I want to get it. Because it looks very cool.
It seems
the action's so cool.
Yeah,
it's literally, it's any Christopher Nolan Inception type movie.
That might be something I watch tonight, actually.
Yeah. It's almost 3 hours, so.
3 hours, gosh. That movie's getting so long, man.
I don't mind it.
Yeah, you think about TV shows are pretty much one long movie, a season of 10 hours of a season of a TV show is pretty much one long movie. So I don't know, but you can break it up at least. It feels weird to break up a movie because
it does. I think I'm gonna have to restart from the start just because I didn't really get it anyway. So maybe I'll get a little bit more now that I got a bit into it.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah.
Nice.
Do you want to go intermittent? You go in between?
Yeah, we'll go back and forth. Okay. My first one is a series I just finished yesterday, and I watched it in 2 days. I had Tuesday and Wednesday pretty clear in terms of plans. So it's Invincible on Amazon. It's a new superhero animated show. It's got a lot of great voice actors in it. It's got Steven Yeun, J.K. Simmons is one of the main characters. Walter Goggins. Some other really it's got a pretty loaded. Zazie Beetz is in it. I love Zazie Beetz. She's great. But anyway, it's very good, not just because of voice actors, but it's a superhero show, and Amazon does really well with off-the-cuff superhero shows. If you've seen The Boys before, it's not exactly in that same vein, but definitely is similar. I think it's based on a comic series by the same guys who did The Walking Dead, so they did well with that comic series. And
the first 3 seasons. The people who did the show.
The 4th season was fine. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But it's a good show. It's very emotional. It's very intense. There's some big twists that you don't see coming. So, I liked it a lot. Very emotional and just really good. So I recommend that if you need something to watch. It's 8 episodes of 50-minute episodes. So, all things considered, not a long watch. But, yeah.
Yeah.
Enough content. Yeah, it's good.
I've seen 2 things on it now, so... Gonna have to see what's
one more.
Technically, I have seen 3 things, but I didn't. They were both YouTube thumbnails. The other ones, so I'm gonna count that as one.
Gotcha. Okay, that's fair.
Seeing that it existed. Yeah. My next one is.
Wait, are you talking about Critical on YouTube?
Critical did one, and then there was another.
He gave
random...
it 95%.
Did he?
Yeah.
I didn't watch the video. Yeah, I just saw the thumbnail.
I always skip to the end of those videos to see what he said, and it was 95%, and I was like, nice, I agree. Anyway.
The only one I watched all the way through, I think, was the Annihilation one he did, because I loved that movie.
I've watched a couple all the way through, yeah. Anyway, what you got?
Anyway, yeah, my next one is any Taika Waititi film. So, the past week, I've been, binging everything he's got. It's not that much. But I watched Hunt for the Wilder People and Jojo Rabbit back-to-back in a night. and Ian can attest how much I liked it.
Yeah.
Because I sent him 2 texts back to back, one 3 hours after the other, saying how much I loved both of those movies.
The night after we talked about it, like I recommended them to him.
It was the night of a podcast.
Yeah, right after we were talking about Taika Waititi, and he's like, I don't really know many things by him. I'm like, oh, dude, both these movies, great movies. Yeah.
Yeah, I only seen Thor Ragnarok, and I really like that movie. I don't really like any of the other Thor movies. I actually did like Thor 1 more than most people, but he did Ragnarok so well.
Ragnarok was great.
I was like, I gotta check him out because I've seen a couple other things where it's just too good. And I heard about Jojo Rabbit, and I was always skeptical because it looked really weird from the trailer. I was like, what is even going on in that movie?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's pretty much how his movies are. It is true. No. Like, what is going on? Like, Hunt for the Wilder People, in my opinion, was just so much better of a film. It's not like leaps and bounds because I think Jojo Rabbit was great too. But like, Hunt for the Wilder People is in my top 10 probably.
It's a very good movie.
I'm gonna have to rewatch it again too.
I might need to as well. The relationships in that movie are just really unique and fun. So I'm glad you like those as much as I did.
Yeah, it's a really fun movie to watch.
Oh yeah,
just so fun.
My next recommendation is another TV show which I finished before I had finished Invincible. It's The Good Place. It's on Netflix. It's a I guess sitcom you could call it. No laugh track, which is kind of like necessary for me at this point. I hate laugh tracks. They're laugh tracks. I can't stand them, man. Unless I don't know. Let's not get into
Unless
that.
it's The Big Bang Theory.
Oh, then it really adds to
then
it.
Then it's needed because you can't tell when they're
Rick and Morty needs a laugh track. Anyway, The Good Place. It's a show about this woman who gets into like heaven. It's called The Good Place. It's not exactly heaven. It's just like the afterlife because she was good and she went to the good place instead of the bad place. But she got put there by mistake. So it's kind of like her like misadventures of being in heaven and like trying to work things out. But then the story gets really good at the end of season 1. Like you think it's just going to be, because it's like 4 seasons long, you're like, oh, it's going to be 4 seasons of wacky misadventures of her being like stuck in the good place when she doesn't deserve to be. But it gets pretty good story wise, and it's funny. The characters are very unique. There's one main character I really don't like. It's Jason. If you've watched the show, he's a little too he's the dumb guy, the dumb character, and he's a little too dumb sometimes for me. When it's like out of the realm of possibility of like this person would be dead by now. So, but anyway, it's a good show. A lot of laughs, a lot of emotion. So very good show. If you like need something just to put on in the background, I'd recommend it.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Really?
Yeah, no, I haven't heard anything about that. So
yeah,
I'll have to look into it. But that doesn't fit the mantra. And there are things higher on my list. So
that's fine. That's fine. No, definitely. You can put it to the back burner. Put it on my list, and you see it like 3 years later when you have nothing to watch. You're like,
yeah. I don't really watch TV shows that much. So like The Wire has been number 1 on my list of watching TV shows for a long time.
Yeah, this show is just something you can have on in the background. And like, I play Battlegrounds over here, and like just like the video game Matthew and I like playing, and like barely focus on it. You know, so it's good for that.
I see that. I'm back into podcasts right now.
Yeah, I
Speaking of,
oh, here it is.
We're doing one.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna recommend a podcast.
No.
Do you have one more, or you got enough? Is that all?
No, that was all I had.
Oh, okay. I had a song that I wanted to recommend. It's called "Maybe Not" by someone named Soully Had. It's spelled Souly, like Soul-y Had. And then Mac Ayers is a feature in it called "Maybe Not." I really recommend it. It's kind of like chill, like R&B kind of style. I really like the feature by Mac Ayers in it. It's a really neat song, and I've just been bumping it a lot, and it's pretty funky, and maybe funky is not the right word. I just really like the song, so I wanted to get 3 in here. So two shows and a song will be good, I think. So are you looking for a song now?
I was looking at that song. I have heard of Soully Had. I
had never before this song.
Speaking of, there's a song that I really like. It's a you know that roller coaster song?
Yeah.
I sent you?
Yeah.
This was found at the exact same time off the exact same like radio playlist from Spotify.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same song, just different artists, and it's very good. It's very good. I love it. I'll have to send it.
All right, cool. Yeah, definitely do that. Okay, perfect. Do you have anything else? Or are you good?
No. I'll recommend one song. There's a punk song. Hot Mulligan makes Equip Sunglasses. The song Equip Sunglasses. Very good punk song. My friend recommended it to me, and at first I hated it because the music video sucked.
Yeah.
But then I started listening to it on my own, just without it, and it's just very good. It's exactly what I want in a punk song. It's so fun to listen to.
Yeah, it is, and the singer's very punk, but
very.
I mean, but the music is great, and I mean, if you like that kind of singing, that style of singing, you'll love this song. So.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, let's go ahead and get to the main topic. Good recommendations, Matthew. Thank you for those, and definitely have to check those out. I definitely want to check out Tenet. But today's main topic, I wanted to play almost a game. I wanted to have two separate roles this time, like two very definitive separate roles. So this is a game, you could say. I'm calling Restaurant Shark Tank. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So I am going to be the entrepreneur. I'm a restaurant entrepreneur coming to you with 3 revolutionary ideas that will shake up the fine dining / eating out world. You know, this is going to revolutionize things. And you are the shark, okay? You're going to either invest. What you're going to do, your job is to give me a star ranking, 5 stars in 3 different categories, okay?
Okay.
You're going to rank it my uniqueness of the restaurant. You're going to rank the profitability, how much money you think it can make. And you're going to rank how much it could exist. Like, can it actually exist on 5 stars? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I mean, you can tell me if you think there should be a different category, but this is just me. I'm not going to be ranking it. So I'm going to pitch you 3 ideas. Do you think those are good? Uniqueness, profitability, and I guess realness, you could say. And
I'm going to write those down while you continue.
Uniqueness, profitability, and reality grade. I don't know. You can call that whatever you want to. But I'm going to be pitching Matthew 3 ideas. One of them I've been sitting on since high school. And 2 of them I just came up with today that I think will get people at least interested. They'll come at least once to these restaurants, I think, because they're novelty. So I think we're guaranteed 320 million people to come because every person in America is going to want to come to this, you know? And then they're going to never come again, I think, possibly.
Very unique.
Yeah, so do you mind if I go ahead and pitch my first one? Sure. Matthew?
You got to start with your wanted money and my stake in your company.
Oh yeah, I want $5 billion, and you just to watch from afar, and I'll send you some. I'll send you like $1,400 stimulus checks when I get paid.
That'll add up, so I'm probably gonna make a profit eventually.
Yeah, but they'll only come
if it's gonna come forever, it's gonna profit eventually.
But it's once every 6 months, so sorry.
Well, it's gonna take a bit, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the way it goes. So my first
slow money.
Yes, my first one is one that my business partner, Jared Amigo, shout out to Jared if he's listening, or anyone who knows Jared. Him and I came up with this concept back in high school because we were in graphic communications class together and we had to design a restaurant. So this is where this idea was kind of birthed from. And the restaurant's name is Turk3y. It's T3RKY because we're trying to get the millennials in there with that little, niche 3. So let me go ahead and pitch it real quick. So it's an all Thanksgiving themed restaurant. Okay, yeah, I like the hand cross. You do look like a shark. You need to get a suit on for this. Go get changed.
I mean, I've got it, but I can't do it now.
It's okay. It's an all Thanksgiving themed restaurant. Okay, you got the idea. All meals are based on everyone's favorite holiday, Thanksgiving. You know, you got cranberry sauce, and you got turkey, you got mashed potatoes, the fixins, all the good stuff. You know, and we also have a very cute mascot, and his name is Timmy Turkey, and he's a little guy with a top pilgrim hat on, and he waves at you, and he's like the face of the franchise. Okay. So originally we kind of went all out with this, like we were saying the drinks were going to be gravy and diet gravy, but maybe we could just dye them brown and pretend that they're gravy, or make some weird cocktails with them. But you could just go with some like red and white wine to go along with the Thanksgiving theme. So, I mean, I think this is a can't miss opportunity. So I don't know why you wouldn't want to invest, but let me hear what you think about this. What's your initial thought about the Turk3y restaurant?
It's an interesting thought. The only devil's advocate problem. It is a real problem.
I need you to talk about this. Yeah,
I'm going to tell you all the problems, but it's going to be the big problem.
You're an investor, okay? Also, you can come up with better ideas too. You can be like, I think we should do this too. Yeah. Anyway,
Thanksgiving has a set amount of foods that are acceptable.
Correct.
Especially amongst cultures. You know, they're not always going to be the same. So, how is your menu going to be diverse?
See, that's the thing. It's not going to be okay. We turn left while everyone's turning right. Okay. NASCAR we turn left. So I mean, I think we're finishing in first. I mean, who needs variety when you have it's quality over quantity, right? I mean, obviously. So we're gonna have don't give me that face. We're going to have the best Thanksgiving food. Like your grandma is going to cry if she comes with you to this restaurant because she's never gonna make a Thanksgiving dinner better than what you're gonna have at turkey. Okay.
I see.
Yeah. So yeah.
Second point.
Yeah.
That was a good rebuttal there. I will.
You have the confidence. Yeah.
It was a good confidence. The only problem is that
years.
it didn't answer my question really.
Well, maybe your question was wrong.
It just subverted my question with a completely different answer.
That's what Shark Tank is, Matthew. I don't know if you watched.
But I would realize that, and I would never invest in your company.
No,
unless you cut me a deal.
What's the deal? 100% of
There's
profits.
no deal in which I would.
Yeah, I just want to see my baby flourish. I don't need any money.
Yes. Number 2 problem. When is there a craving for Thanksgiving food other than Thanksgiving Day?
You've never had a craving for Thanksgiving food that wasn't on Thanksgiving Day?
Maybe like 2 or 3 days before Thanksgiving, and then 2 or 3 days. Not even 2 or 3 days after. I'm tired after the second day of eating it. Leftovers are not fun to eat on Thanksgiving. I've never liked them.
I like Thanksgiving leftovers the day after, but it's never
only
been
one day.
It's never been like late February and you're like, you know what I could go for right now? A nice hearty Thanksgiving style dinner. You've never thought that
I think you'd only get business in the winter.
I
You would not be setting up shop in Florida. That's all I'm saying.
I'd make the
You'd have a limit.
We're starting in Orlando,
Connecticut
so
and above, basically. Yeah. we're actually a startup out of Cancun.
You can eat your words like a drumstick, actually. Yeah.
You ever been on a vacation to Cancun and just want Thanksgiving food?
I mean, almost every time I go to Cancun, yeah. Which is never. But
Which is never. So
I'm sure I would.
Thanksgiving food. Bam.
I can imagine I would, yeah. It's kind of like Schrodinger's box. Like, I've never been to Cancun, so it currently exists in a state of I want Thanksgiving food while I'm in Cancun, and I don't want Thanksgiving food because I never opened that box and have gone to Cancun. So
it's true.
So I'm using quantum physics.
There's your biggest flaw.
No, I think the biggest flaw in Shark Tank is that people don't use quantum physics enough to explain.
Yeah. They need to start using quantum physics to divert questions.
Look, Mark Cuban, okay?
Listen.
Do you know about quarks and planks? And he's like, all right, you can get off my show. Anyway.
Mr. O'Leary.
All I knew was Mark Cuban. I don't watch that show that often.
I took a marketing class this semester. We watched 4 episodes last week. It was pretty fun.
That's all you do in class. That's cool though.
But yeah, that's number 2 problem.
There's more.
Well, there's more problems, obviously, but like, it honestly, this just seems like you should have dinner with a show, like medieval times type thing.
Hold your tongue. You hang in there. I have 2 more restaurant ideas. Okay? You're gonna love the next one. Okay, let's keep talking about turkey though.
Okay, well then maybe there should be 2 medieval times in the proposals.
Yeah, okay.
Because maybe. This is another thing. Like, when do you crave Thanksgiving food? In my opinion, like, I would eat Thanksgiving food at a medieval times type thing, like a dinner with a show type thing, and you like the history of the Pilgrims. Nobody would watch that.
You watch Christopher Columbus give smallpox blankets to a bunch of Native Americans.
It's just like so controversial. It's like the new hip bar for like youngsters. That's why it's called Turkey with a 3.
It really puts me in the mood to eat a nice load of cranberry sauce in a cylinder when I see Christopher Columbus give smallpox blankets to a bunch of Native Americans.
That's what it's gonna be.
Yeah, and
it's gonna be detailing the horrific event.
And now we celebrate him every October.
Yeah, and everyone raises their chicken legs their turkey legs at the end, and they go whoa like that while they're dying.
It's great. It's a fun time for the whole family.
But it's a progressive art show actually.
No, Christopher Columbus is canceled. He's not invited to Turkey.
Yeah,
so
he's not.
He's
actually on the blacklist.
Yeah, there's a list for people to come in, and there's just a big X with his name through it. Anyway,
Christopher Columbus, no.
And he's like, dang, he just puts on a fake mustache. Anyway, uniqueness. What do you think? 5 stars, right?
Uniqueness, I think it's a 4.5.
I'm gonna
go halves. Because I think it could be more unique. I think the only.
I
think. Yeah, I mean, there's other stuff you could do with it. But like, it is very unique. It's a 4.5.
Thank you. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Profitability.
This one? Profitability. I wrote them all down. I should probably have.
No, that's fine. I got you.
Profitability. I think that's a 1 star for me. This is one of the worst profitability ideas. I'm sorry, but like.
Can you give something? I mean, will you give something 0 stars, or is 1 the lowest you're going? Because I've seen ranking systems.
I'll give zeros. I'll give zeros.
Okay, so as a
1's not the lowest.
Okay, good.
I'll give 0.5s too. It's not terrible.
So 1 will make some.
You're making money in the winter,
but I'll probably be out of business as soon as it's like March.
When April starts, when May hits, when people feel that warm summer weather. Like, if you're not in Canada, like Newfoundland, you're not making money.
Labrador?
You got to move north to do that.
North.
My favorite Vince Staples song.
Yeah, I was about to say north. That video where the woman... Have you seen the video where the woman's crying?
You showed me that at work.
Yeah, that video's hilarious.
Very funny.
Yeah.
Next one is reality grade.
Yeah. Could you imagine... So this kind of grade is kind of going, like, if you're driving down a highway and you see, like, this, like, on the side, or, like, you're driving down, like, 140 in Westminster and you see, like, this where Friendly's used to be. Like, are you like, ooh, that makes sense.
If that's the scenario... This gets like a 0.5 in my book.
That's the scenario.
If that's not the scenario, it gets like a 2, maybe 2.5.
What's your 2.5 scenario? Like you're just talking about like
I could see this in like a Barstool article, like somebody like, oh, they opened a funny restaurant. Let's write about this. And then hear about it on the news and it goes viral because of how funny it is. It's like it is unique, it is funny, but like you're not getting business if it's not that. Mm-hmm. So you're basically going to be a young progressive bar, essentially. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you could make it a bar. I honestly think a bar named Turk3y would do very well. And you sell only like, you just make it a bar instead of a restaurant.
Okay, thanks, Shark. I appreciate that.
No problem. I think that was a pretty good Shark take.
You'll find that my could it exist / reality grades are not going to be high for any of these. So this was probably the most realistic one, honestly.
Really? Because I gave it a 0.5 if that's the scenario.
It depends. Anyway, do you want to move on to the next one, or do you have any closing thoughts on Turk3y?
I'll say a couple closing thoughts. One, I really think that the bar idea is good. I think that would have gotten higher stars in everything.
Okay.
Because you'd profit in the summer, and you'd profit from older people in the winter. Like young people in the summer, old people in the winter. Because they come in want turkey, you know?
Yeah.
So you're going to up the stars there. Reality grade goes up a bit because it's like, bars are named stupid things. Bars have stupid niches.
That's fair.
That's what bars are. So like, it's very reasonable for that to happen.
Yeah.
So that's my recommendation. It's a bar now.
Yeah. Was there any other one? Or no, you're good.
No.
Sorry, I thought you said you had a few. Okay, never mind. Then we're good.
Oh, okay. Well.
All right. No, you're fine.
That's true.
So I had my second one was gonna be the medieval times themed one, but I'm gonna move on to the next one because I think the medieval times one is my favorite. So I'm gonna save the best for last. The next one. So I mean, you know me and like you know our family, Matthew. We love Texas Roadhouse. It's one of the favorites. You get a basket of chicken critters there, and you know like a cactus blossom, and you're hitting the hitting the town later. Oh, those rolls too. How could you forget? And I mean like it's just kind of like that location themed restaurant. You know like people love that. You know Outback Steakhouse, Australia. You know you get a Rainforest Cafe to be like the rainforest. You know people are thriving off this. So I kind of want to stick in that Rainforest Cafe niche. And think about like what location hasn't been done yet. You know, like the final frontier for themed restaurants.
I want to guess. Yeah.
Go ahead. What do you think?
Is it a desert themed restaurant?
It's a desert in a sense, in its biome sense. It's Antarctica.
Okay.
So it's like an ice bar. You've seen ice bars before, right? Or have you heard of those?
No.
Where it's like
ice
cold.
Ice bars.
Ice bars, yeah. Like it's cold.
I thought you said one word. I was like ice bars.
No, it's
what is that?
Ice blank bars. Like where like it's cold in there and stuff.
That,
yeah. So this is like taking that but making it family friendly, you know. And it's I don't know what you would call it. I didn't give this one a name. That's my bad. I didn't give these last two a name because I didn't really have time to think about it. But we could think of that. Yeah. But it's freezing in there. It's obviously it's an Antarctica themed restaurant. It's going to be cold all the time. The floor is complete ice. And so you have to make it to your table fine. Like I mean there could be some lawsuits issue there I see, but you know that's fine. And the waiters, you know how like it's cute when like the Sonic waiters come out and they're on like roller skates. I mean if the floor is ice, obviously the waiters, you know, ice skates. They're gonna be on ice skates skating around, which is gonna be just really add to that. You know, all the drinks are like frozen drinks. Like either they're like completely like straight through frozen water and you have to wait for them to thaw, and it's so cold it doesn't really.
You just get blocks of ice.
You get ice, yeah. You just get ice, or it could just be like like frozen slushies, and it's already cold in there, so you're not really enjoying that. But or you can get hot chocolate, and you can kind of ride into the theme. But this one, I think there's potential here, Matthew. What do you think?
I think it depends on where you put it. Again, location. Like if we're talking, you're going down to Towson, you're going down the Timonium. I'm not seeing this restaurant and going in.
Right next to P.F. Chang's.
Yeah, I'm not going into that.
No.
Like,
That's fair.
There's no way I'm stepping foot in that restaurant. But if I'm in Cancun and I see that restaurant and it's a hot day, maybe it's a little extra hot, you didn't plan on it, and you didn't know it was going to be that hot, you didn't know it could get that hot, and you're like, oh, my
but why did I come to Cancun? Yeah.
I'm like, this is miserable. I can't even sit in the shade. It's not fun. So I'm like, I got to go find a restaurant for dinner that'll suit me.
And all these restaurants in Cancun are outside, and they have like open table bars. And you're like, gosh,
this
it's
is
hot.
Closed, freezing cold.
It's an ice box, pretty much. It's like it's shaped like a cooler. Like you're like just hopping inside.
All you got to do is charge people to stand in it, and put it in a hot location.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And then you will make a lot more money, and you will not need to worry about the fact that your restaurant idea is not as profitable as you think.
So your entire basis of Shark is taking my ideas for restaurants and either making them completely different. Like, how about a bar instead? Or how about a place where you stand, you know? Maybe that'd be cool.
I mean, listen, you got to play to your strengths. If you got an ice-themed restaurant, what people would want to go into an ice-themed restaurant? People that are hot.
Hot people, yeah.
Hot people.
Hot young teens in your area. Hot young singles in your area. Yeah.
They want to go into the ice restaurant.
Yeah, and then that brings more hot young singles into the area.
So where is it hot? Cancun. Where?
Why Cancun? Why are we getting stuck on Cancun so much?
Because it's the hottest place I know.
Yeah, right next to the sun.
Next to the sun.
It's the sun, then it's Cancun. Yeah. No, it's fair. I mean, Cancun is pretty hot. I can imagine. Like I said, Schrodinger's vacation. Haven't been there.
It's also like the most known hot place too. So
I don't
like,
think that's true, but
well, for like Americans, if I went and I said like, Quito, if I say Quito's hot. Where's that?
Isn't that lottery game? Quito's my favorite lottery game.
We'll end it at that. Yeah. That's exactly my point. You can't just say Quito's hot. You can't say
that's fair.
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't know any other Ecuadorian countries.
How was Ecuador, huh?
Yeah,
I just look out. Cancun is the hottest place Americans know.
Honestly, that's a good way of putting it. That's exactly what I was trying to say.
I'm over here, like Cairo, Egypt, maybe.
That's pretty close, but that's about as close as Cancun, I think.
May not be hot. Tropic of Cancer.
Because that's at the Mediterranean. It's the bottom of the Mediterranean. That's not that hot.
That's true. Yeah, I don't know. Let's move on.
That's actually probably colder
hot
than
places.
But yeah.
So it seems my basis for this place is just locations all along the equator is kind of where I'm building shop. All right, let's go for uniqueness on this one. What do you think?
It's a little tough because it is very unique, but it's also not.
Oh.
So like the idea of what you're doing is unique, but like the fact that it copies like Rainforest Cafe and
copies is a word. Like we'll have penguins and stuff there,
emulates, which is another word that counteracts uniqueness.
My lawyers don't like that you're saying copy right now, so I'm gonna have to ask you like, cool, look at the language, Shark.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay. Yeah.
Uniqueness.
Yes.
A 4-star.
Exactly. Get that down, lawyers.
I think it's pretty good. Profitability, I think this is better than the other one.
Oh,
for money making.
Okay.
For money making, at least. I think
you
make
makes
more
sense.
money.
But not for the food purposes.
I think it's a 2-star. Yeah, no, you're not making money for the food.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Reality grade, I think it's honestly way more reasonable. But the only thing is, like, okay, we'd have to change the grade for the last one to 2.5. Okay. Like what I was going to say.
Yeah, that's fine.
So the last one's reality grade. Turkey was 2.5 because I don't want to restrict it to just Maryland.
Yeah, that's fine. No, yeah.
You know, if you have the money to start this business.
New England, I think would kill the Turkey one. I feel like they're always jonesing.
That's where the 2.5
They're always jonesing for a nice Thanksgiving meal up there in Connecticut.
Oh, yeah. So on this one, the reality grade would have to be if it's located in a hot place. 0 stars. No.
This is my livelihood, Shark.
I think it's a 3.5 star. It's actually pretty realistic.
Ice bars
I'm
exist,
not one
man.
to say. I'm not an expert on the subject.
I thought you were. Why am I getting you to invest in my restaurant?
I didn't brush up on my ice restaurants before this episode.
You're like, look, dog, I've eaten at like 12 different restaurants in my life and have $760 in my bank account. So wrong person to ask.
But I could help.
But I got connections, okay?
So yeah, the 3.5 I think is deserved. Closing remarks on it.
Yes, please. Only nice ones, please. I'm fragile.
I think you'd have to have normal food at this place. You can't really do a niche food. I like the roller skates.
Ice skates.
The ice skates. I think
roller skates would be a disaster.
There are things, roller skates on ice.
That'd be a nightmare. PR nightmare.
But yeah, I think it could be pretty realistic. I think that's where your strong suit is.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna lose the realism here for a sec. So my next one, this still doesn't have a name. If you want to think of one, you can help me out. So we talked about medieval times and just how much dang fun it is, you know? Yeah. And I mean, just historical dinner shows have proven success, right? I mean, you have medieval times. I don't know if I
Dixie
can say
Stampede.
this. I was about to say Dixie Stampede.
Yeah.
Cancel.
No. What is it called? What is it called now?
Dolly Parton's Southern Stampede. I don't know, something like that. Not Dixie Stampede. You can't say Dixie anymore.
It's
like
not the
Confederacy.
Dixie Stampede.
So sorry. I hope we don't get canceled, Matthew. Oh God, we're ruined. We're done.
If there's context to this clip, then we'll be okay.
Yeah.
If not, and they're just ripping it, dang.
Yeah, hopefully our 12 viewers don't get too upset about this. So please stay with us, guys.
We don't want any twit longers.
Yeah, exactly. So those two are just great examples. So I mean, we have the Civil War with the Dixie Stampede, and we have like medieval Europe, like knights in Europe for medieval times. Yeah. I mean, I could just said that. But there's not one that's like really too recent history, so I think we should change that and make a World War I themed dinner show restaurant.
That's fair. I thought you were gonna go super modern, like
a Cold War,
like a 9/11, like very recent, very recent history.
Yeah, no, I don't think we can make a 9/11 themed restaurant. I think that's
Cold War would be a good one though.
Yeah,
that you could combine that with
that's
the
like
last
50
restaurant.
years, man. That like you go from Berlin Wall to Cuban Missile Crisis to JFK getting assassinated. Yeah. Like
honestly, that would make for an amazing show.
It literally
Who would be the main character? Sorry.
I mean, I think it would progress like from like you have like Karl Marx into like Joseph Stalin into like JFK into like I don't know, Winston Churchill was involved in all that nonsense, right? I don't know. He said like Mr. Gorbachev shared on that wall. No, that's Ronald Reagan. Yeah, sorry, I don't know. Don't worry about it. But that's not what we're doing here. We're doing World War One. Yeah. So I have some stipulations for this one that make it less realistic, but I think more fun. So if you're a man over the age of 16, as soon as you enter, you're instantly brought into the show. Like you're instantly volunteered to be into the show. Like you're drafted into the show, if you will. So I think that's fun. You're not eating with your family so we just instantly be in the show. The seats are dug out in trenches around the arena. Like, so imagine the Dixie Stampede, like arena where it's like kind of like a dirt oval. And then you're like up in stands, but instead you're like dug down in trenches that are like, you're still able to see the show, but it's just like road trenches. Yeah.
Is it dirt and are there seats?
No. I mean, it is dirt and no, there are no seats.
I mean, it's dirt and no, they only have shovels.
We are going for hyper realism here, so they are sitting on the floor. There are artillery shells constantly being fallen, and air raid horns are always
rats
playing.
running at their feet, water filling their shoes, giving them trenches foot.
Yeah, they definitely have trenches foot by the end of this. Air raid horns are playing constantly, and their food are like rations, like little bars, like the bars you get. So like graham crackers, pretty much. And a fun twist is that mustard gas slowly fills the room twice a show, and they don't know when. You're not gonna.
Hey, it's pretty cheap to make, you know.
Yeah, and you just use like we have a bunch of mustard in the back, so you just kind of use that, and it's pretty easy because we're using it for the food, and then we use it for the gas as well. So I mean,
it's not hard.
Do you have any other ideas to make this one better, or no? I mean, it's pretty good.
I think we can explore the story a bit, just because I'd have to know. It's obviously a part of the show.
I mean that it could differ. I think it's mainly you're following one of these random selected few, and that's good too because we don't have to pay the help. Like it's just the people that showed up. We don't pay them. We just feed them. So that's pretty good.
Well, we'd have to because there had to be some actors, you know, like those people would be warriors that just lay there most of the. We'd have them fight. This would be funny. You have them fight in the beginning.
They definitely fight. Yeah,
like
you're
the first battle, and you like. You know,
you get them in a single file line. You're like German, American, British, German, British, France,
and then they make it epic. Yeah, and they pile up bodies like this, and then they're fighting on top of the bodies, and then everyone's basically dead except one actor that we paid, and then we make them lay there the entire show.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
set doesn't change. It's just from there on out. It's just talking.
Yeah,
and it's just like. Yeah, they cannot move, and every time they try to move, we're like, stop.
It's a monologue from our one actor we actually paid. He's just constantly talking.
30 minutes about how terrible war was.
Yeah, and like about how like the people he's killed and how it haunts him and like how he misses his family.
And then Franz Ferdinand's ghost comes in.
Ooh. one lucky one of the lucky volunteers gets to be Franz Ferdinand's ghost.
Yeah, one out of the 300 that get drafted.
Like, I did this. This is my fault. That's interesting. Yeah,
I should have never taken that car ride.
Like Poland or something. Is it Poland?
It was Serbia and Austria-Hungary.
Austria-Hungary, yeah. No,
he was from Serbia.
Poland was World War II.
Took a drive to Austria-Hungary, I think.
I almost made this one World War II theme, but I was like, no.
It's a little too recent.
A little too much, I think. I just watched the movie The Pianist, which is about like a pianist who gets trapped in like he's a Jewish pianist in Poland in the World War II time, and it was sad, man. I was like, even joking, I don't think this is going to be a good dinner theater. Like, I can't convince myself this will be good. World War I, we can make it work.
Cold War would be good because there's actually a good ending.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool. Yeah, and the wall gets torn down.
There's no really bad part.
There
are bad parts.
we can. You know how in Dixie Stampede they separate the North and the South? We can make one side East Berlin and one side West Berlin and just build a big wall, and they both see two separate shows. And at the very end, Ronald Reagan's like, "Oh yeah, that's cool," and they're both just like freaking out.
Two people in the crowd have access to a button that they both have to press at the same time, and if they do, everyone on the other side has to leave.
It's like the scene.
If they die.
It's the scene from The Dark Knight when they're on the boats. It's that, but we're doing it instead of the Joker. And they're like, if you press this button,
no, we don't. We
the
can't
other
tell.
side dies.
It's gotta be a rare chance. Like
the other side.
Somebody's like. They have to just be randomly pressing the button, and then the other person presses it within like 3 seconds or something like that. Then we're like, okay, everyone, sorry, you guys gotta go.
You know what we do? We split them off right at the beginning so they don't even see each other, and we tell each side like it's really blocked off, like soundproof, and we're like, we have a wall protecting you guys from the criminals. We do a show for the local jail, like Alameda County Jail. You know, we just do a show for them, and then they give the buttons, and they're like, there's criminals on the other side. You'll both explode. You're boboth gonna die at midnight, so you have to blow them up. But they're both normal people, so we see what happens.
Oh my god!
And the carnage would be great. I don't know which one's better. We could make both of them, Mr. Shark. So whatever you think.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you have the capital to do both.
I think that's a good way to go.
Yeah. War-themed dinner theater.
One point I want to make is that it's kind of crazy that the Dixie Stampede exists in the South.
Mm-hmm.
How?
I gotta find out what that is actually called. Give me like.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
Actually, my keyboard's way too loud. I can't do it. I gotta look on my phone.
Yeah, go ahead and look on your phone.
You keep doing.
For me, it's like it exists in Tennessee, right? Mm-hmm. And how?
Oh, it's called Dolly Parton. Sorry, it's called Dolly Parton Stampede.
Dolly Parton Stampede. That's what I guessed earlier.
No one doesn't like Dolly Parton, so that's like the best thing they could have called it.
Yeah, but like, it's in the South. South lost the Civil War, so it's like, why is it there? Like, usually they're very prideful about it, but like in the end they had to say they lost. Yeah. So it's like people like your target market is not getting what they want, but like.
Do you think Southerners think they won the Civil War? Like, do you think they're like?
I think they think they won it, and they think they could have won it, and they think they could still win it. You know, kind of thing.
They definitely think they could still win it. They're like, they're like Northerners.
Hey, one more round and we're good.
Let's go now. Square up, champ. No.
I'm just glad to be in Maryland where we're just like, I don't know, bro.
All the fighting just happens here, which is great. Yeah. I don't know if we're.
I don't know if we're hands off.
Yeah, so that's
just don't blow up my house, bro.
Maryland's a location for this one too. Just because we're the Switzerland of America. So.
On the Mason-Dixon line. Mm-hmm. Very historical. Yeah, one of the worst things you could ever go see. We pass it all the time, but like
the Mason-Dixon line.
Yeah, when there's signs like this is the Mason-Dixon line. Like,
yeah, nice.
I've been to places deeper into Pennsylvania, like further right from where we are, towards Philadelphia. Yeah, and they're so proud of it. And like, this is one of the worst like historical things you could ever go see.
I like when you do it in Limeboro, like when you're like transitioning from like Limeboro, like Maryland to like Pennsylvania, and it's like, oh, you just passed it. That's pretty much how like the eventful it is. Like,
there it goes. You come into Maryland from the other side too, and it's just one sign that says "Don't litter."
Yeah, and the streets are paved so differently at one point. Like it's like
you can tell where Maryland ends.
Oh, it's like it's right here where they like literally they were paving the roads and they're like, oh, we're done. Pack it
not
up.
My job.
They reversed it the entire way. They know. I don't blame them. I did the exact same thing. But anyway, back to our restaurant. Uniqueness of the World War. We're gonna stick with World War I for now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uniqueness.
I like it. I think the World War I aspect of it is probably the best one to choose because it's more recent than the ones that exist.
Better than 9/11.
Yeah, but it's not as recent as 9/11 or the Cold War. I think the Cold War could be a good one too.
We'll make a pandemic one.
Yeah.
Current
history. Yeah,
really.
Present day. It's just the news with a team.
Everyone and you just sit 6 feet apart and like everyone's like, yeah, you guys just lived through this, right? You guys want to do it again?
Oh my god, yeah. That's going to happen.
Oh,
now that I think about it,
the media that's going to come out because of this is going to annoy me. Mm-hmm. Like it's going to be like, oh,
restaurants where they still make you sit 6 feet apart for novelty. Like, hey, this is what we did.
I don't mind that actually. I went to a restaurant the other day and it was like a little less than 6 feet apart. Like, and it was like, geez, get away from me. Can you hear everything I'm saying, man? Like, what is the
I
deal?
do like people being away from me.
Yeah, I don't need you up in my business. So anyway. Uniqueness, you said pretty good.
The uniqueness is pretty good. I'll give it a star rating now. I think it's the 5-star one. I think it has to be a 5-star because it's the best idea.
Right.
And like,
let's wrap it now. 5 stars. Let's go home. Let's not talk about anything else.
Nothing else. Profitability though, we will talk about.
Yeah, I think if you stick with my ideas, it's not a great one.
No, I think it's. See, there's a lot of things you'd have to take out of what you said because obviously some of it was a joke.
Oh yeah, most of it was. Most of it was a joke. I mean, we can keep it.
But like the trenches and stuff, can't have that.
Nah.
You can have trenches if there are seats and it's like very enjoyable to sit in.
Can I still draft
you're
people?
Kind of peering over. The drafting is very hard because I mean you could do a few. But there's no way you could do like anyone over.
What if I let the family of the draftees write letters to the people in the show, like they're because they're not going to see them for 4 years, obviously.
Yeah.
So
and we just keep them in the back the entire time.
I'll give them a pen and quill, and they can write letters to their loved ones. I think that
this is what it was like. All right, profitability though, I think I'd have to give it I'll give it a 3.5 because I think dinner in a theater does well no matter what because you're not there to really watch the show. I've been to Medieval Times once. I've been to the Dolly Parton Stampede once, I think, maybe twice.
I think once. Unless you've gone without me.
There's a chance. Well, let's just say the drive I took down to Tennessee the other week wasn't for the Dolly Parton's amusement park or whatever.
Parton World, was that called? Dolly World.
Parton World. Dollywood. That's
Dollywood. That's it. Parton Land.
Partonwood.
Yeah. Pardon me.
Pardon me. Okay.
You should say that in the lines at Dollywood. You just say, "Oh, pardon me," and then you just get to the front of the line. It's like if you have a child with a broken leg.
Yeah, they have to let you in. They have to let you in the front.
Yeah, it's like, do you have your tickets? Like, oh, pardon me. I guess I don't. God, it's a password.
Pardon me for a sec.
What'd you say?
They put their hand out to shake your hand.
Get in there. All right, keep going. Go. Sorry, this is stupid.
All right, probability I gave 3.5. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's pretty good. Dinner in theater does well anywhere. Reality grade. I think it's a 4-star. I think this is your best idea.
Let's go. This is my favorite idea, so that's good.
Turkey's probably number 2.
Okay.
And then the Arctic one is probably last, just because like it's hard. It's hard to do everything you wanted to do.
That's tough. That's tough. We need to train waiters and pay them more.
Yeah, like honestly, the ice floor is the thing I only think about. It's like that has to be gone.
Oh, and too bad. That's my.
There are like practice skating things where they're like it's like pads that
they're penguins.
Work. Huh?
You're the penguins that you ride on, like the little, like they're like for children and they practice skating on them, like they're like little penguins with handlebars.
No. I'm saying like there's a type of like padding, like a floor. There's a type of floor that you can get that's like it feels like padding, but you can skate on it.
Yeah.
It's like synthetic ice, but it's I think that's what it's called, synthetic ice.
Let's go with that. Then we'll meet in the middle.
It's not actual ice. Yeah. You'd have to use that because people can walk on that. And not sue you.
It's part of the challenge, Matthew. They obviously sign a waiver before they go into all of these restaurants.
Oh yeah, of course.
Given.
But yeah, I think this one's pretty realistic. I could see this pretty much anywhere.
Thank you.
The only place I wouldn't see it is on the West Coast, like
Germany,
the west of Mississippi. Yeah, Germany is also.
They don't want to think about it.
Serbia, they call us all this.
Yeah. Franz Ferdinand's family. Wherever they are now. Yeah. Let's not build it there.
Yeah. Those are only the few places that I couldn't see this working.
Okay, that's fair.
I think it's pretty realistic on the East Coast.
Good. Let's go for it then.
Yeah.
It's like we can make a Dave and Buster's theme World War I play.
Okay. Well,
really sticking with the World War I theme.
Yeah. No. That's going a little.
You've already signed on, all right?
Yeah.
Well, good.
You're gonna make that and profit just enough to make that Dave and Buster's World War I thing and just sell the other company.
Well, that's the end goal, obviously. A whole branch of World War I themed restaurants. I mean, that's kind of where we're at.
It's notorious that Dave and Buster's cost a lot to make.
Yeah.
So got to start somewhere.
Exactly. So, all right. Well, with that, I think that's gonna have to be our episode, Matthew. Thank you for giving me some advice on my business proposals. I think I'm ready for the real Shark Tank now with these wonderful ideas. But otherwise,
I'm sure they'll be nicer than I was. So.
God, I hope so. I think you were a little too nice, actually, if I'm being honest. So I think I'm gonna get destroyed by those 4 people in there, but that's okay. Who needs them? But anyway, this has been our episode. We thank you for listening. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Brothers Whim, and check us out on YouTube at the Brothers Whim podcast. You can subscribe, do all that fun stuff. We appreciate it. Check out our episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. If you're watching on YouTube, just do the opposite of what you're doing. We appreciate you guys watching. We're thankful for your viewership and your loyalty. So thank you for listening. I've been Ian.
And I've been Matt.
And we'll see you next week. See you guys.
Bye.